control. It's like voting. I will vote for what I believe is the right thing. Will my vote win the election? I don't know. So my urge to everybody, you do the right thing. Eventually, when many people do the right thing, then the world will. I don't have an answer, but I can tell you what I do and what maybe all of us do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. I am Kamlesh. I am working from GiftAbled. Starting at GiftAbled for the past 2 years. I came from Balrampur, and before joining GiftAbled, I was teaching in a private school. However, I always wanted to contribute to the village and communities I belong to. By the grace of God, I got the opportunity to be associated with strategic HR effort, culture and diversity and inclusion for over 19 years. The topic they are going to discuss is T5 impact. Expressional district as laboratories for innovative government, NGO, corporate partnership and sustainable development.
I'm actually super embarrassed because all I wanted to do was to just support Navna as she dreams, because she's been a super partner for all of us at Mrs. Sacred. But I think it just came with the support. Thank you. I represent an organization that's a consulting company for digital business transformation. So anything anybody does in the social sector, corporate sector, business, we provide a digital solution to make it better. We also, however, created some films in the last 2 years, if you go on our website, which talks about digital for good. Right? So the first film was actually about how once we digitalized a certain grant dispersal department of the United States, it helped a black single woman who had 3 children to prevent her from becoming homeless, and then she went on to become a medical professional. The second film that we showed was about how once we held the legal system again in the States, it provided leverage to a person with intellectual disability of sorts to actually get the benefit of a certain law that they have in the States, that they can seek help rather than go to jail for a long time for a certain crime. This person had really just become a little more aggressive at home, and somebody called the police by mistake or something of those lines. So this is how technology can bring good to society, and I represent a company that truly, very strongly believes in that. But apart from that, I really have not a lot of qualification, but what I do is also bring together people of diverse groups, create and help us create that environment that includes everyone and helps people thrive. So I'm really, really happy to call our panelist, Sanjay Singh. Would you like to join us? So he is Sanjay. Sanjay, do you want to share a little bit about it? Because I think everybody, we have this on the screen, but what would you like to tell people about it?
It's a long journey, I would say. I'm a qualified psychologist. I was working in oil and gas, shifted to media, and I worked with, started my career with Times Group, and then landed up ultimately with Fireside, that used to be TV Today Network. So I had enough of breaking news in my life. So I had false sense of power. Then you feel that you're very powerful, and you can call any minister, you can get your things done. You never pay challan while you're traveling in Delhi. So these are like small things that you start thinking. Anyway, but the last turn of the event, I can say that I went to test to study child rights, and from there I worked on child sexual abuse, against child sexual abuse for a while. But it was not feasible for me to survive because I didn't have money to pay for my daughter's fees. So I decided to take up a job, and then ultimately I landed a group to read, and then shifted to Pyramid Foundation right now, working with them. And we work in all the aspirational districts of India. There is 112 districts in India. We work with, and we work in 151 districts in India. But right now we are focused on aspirational districts, and we are working in Balrampur also. And that's it.
Thank you so much, Sanjay. May I call Ribu? Ribu, Harita? Hi. Ribu is a good friend and is also representing Amadeus. I think I was really touched by some of the stories of their work along with GiftAbled. Ribu, while your introduction is on the screen, what would you like to add and introduce for yourself?
So thanks so much, Vishaka. Happy to be here today to speak to all of you. Full of people, brilliant people. Thank you so much for being here early in the morning. About myself, though my responsibilities are around corporate communication, there's a lot of work that I've done in the past and in my present organization, which revolves around humanities. It talks about development, it talks about what more can we do for the community that we live in, right? So there are thematic areas that we have within Amadeus, the organization that I work for, but this district especially is pretty close to my heart, and probably through the discussion we'll speak a little more about why this is very, very close to my heart as well. But from a degree perspective, I've done my master's in journalism, psychology and literature, therefore psychology being the closest to what I'm going to be speaking about today. Thank you so much. Happy to be here today.
Thank you. Can I invite Shogato? Shogato joins us from Tata Power. And while I make your introduction, do you want to take the opportunity to introduce yourself and the details that you would like to share?
Thank you very much, and thank you everyone. First of all, my apologies. Yesterday I could not join the program. I was in some other field activity. I am representing Tata Power, and presently I am leading the Tata Power Renewable Microgrid Initiative, which is setting up the renewable energy microgrids in rural area of the country and different parts. And these districts also we have this activity along with the adjacent districts of Balrampur, South MBA from Calcutta, and earlier working with CS Limited. During my 30 years of energy professional career, actually I have been working with CSC and Tata Power Delhi Distribution Limited. And for the last 5 years, I am working in these villages for the area where actually the social improvement as well as what I could see, the transformation of Bharat that is happening today. And it's a really a last 5 years experience is something which this really the most valuable experience in my work area. I will share that also subsequently.
Thank you so much. And I know that it's a packed day. There's going to be a lot of topics. So what I really plan to do is to deviate a little bit from a panel discussion format and ask you a question that brings out the best in the conversation for you. So we'll start with you, Sanjay. We have a certain sense of the challenges, right? It's when we talk about the aspirational district, it's very hard work that is required. Everything seems to be falling apart, and it surprises many. I'm sure many like me felt like things would have been better. Are we really seeing this like not even a complete home for a person? And then there are so many different aspects of work on safety, nutrition, education. I mean, like Ravi said, the number of complexities and nuances are just too many. It can truly deter somebody before they start, right? You have such an impressive zone that you picked in your life to shift from a very different, powerful, or a seemingly powerful area to this. Do you want to share a little bit about some examples where some of these things have actually moved, and how did they start? What is a good way to collaborate on this? Any such examples that you would like to share that has made an impact on the aspirational industry that you will truly inspire?
Thank you for the question. So, I just narrate a story because we were shooting in Balrampur. So we were trying to pick up protagonists in the sense child we have a DIP program, the Development Impact Bond program that we have we say that okay, children will be able to read and write at the end of grade 3 and we will be able to read them. So we're trying to figure out, but we picked up a girl and she's Sandhya. She is from Pachpedwa place, this is Balrampur somewhere. He said that, okay, when we try to explore her journey, she said to me, I don't stay, my house is, मैं यहाँ नहीं रहती हूँ, मेरा घर कहीं और है. यहाँ नहीं रहती हूँ, इसका क्या मतलब? बोले नहीं, I staying with my नाना नानी and मामा मामी बोले we are very कि क्या करना है कुछ पता तो करे कि क्यों है why she is here. बोला हमारे स्कूल नहीं है क्या? Then we went to a village and there was no road in a sense. When we reached there is the Nepal border. It's like we had to go through 2-3 streams say you can see there is sand and dipped into what do you call it? We reached there so we reached there and then interacted with mother. So 15 बच्चे out of that, but एक teenager when she was born, उस समय when she was 5, there was no school in that vicinity. So that's why she shifted to this place. Imagine staying away from family around about 20-25 kilometers away, and she is like pursuing her study. So that then you see that for those who are really poor, the last mile that you can call. So they think about education like this, that okay, she should continue her education over there. Now there is a school in the village right now, but other two siblings are going over there, but she's still continuing over there because she doesn't want to discuss. So that's the story that I do believe, and she's able to read, write properly, make to students. And then we were interacting with children of Pachpedwa school basically. We went there and we do our just because we wanted to know, they're shooting ourselves, we like to know what is happening and the reality of it. You can be smart enough to pick up 3-4 good, and then you interact with okay, and film you can say कि हाँ आप ऐसा बोल दो, you can do that. And because you're making film for donor, ultimately they want to see कि हाँ progress हो रहा है. Because I think Ravi was talking about that there's a corporatization, and then we like to see कि हाँ change हो गया boss. इतनी जल्दी change नहीं होता. It's a very complex system. I can understand, and aspirational system for that matter. If you're sitting here, you know what we're talking about. But there is a hope. What I say that we have seen and we have been working, and we have like 5 staff over there. We have something called Gandhi Fellows that we have. They spend 2 years of their life with us, and then they go back there from does some schools, engineer, doctors, maybe they come here, spend their 2 years and they learn and they try to innovate. And we have something called immersion, that they stay 1 month with the family and they don't win money. They need to earn their money over there by contributing to the family and learn whatever they do, they to adapt and survive there. So it's a great learning, and that kind of learning helps them to come up with something, a solution for whatever is happening in that area, that zone. This is the way we work in a sense. And I see, and I'm very optimistic in a sense that you see change is possible. And we have been like demonstrating in district by district. I'm not saying every district is doing well, because government administration is willing to listen to you. They want to collaborate with you. We work on system change, and we do believe that if you work with middle managers, they start पहले तो वो लगता है कि आप मुझे क्या सिखाओगे? Who are you to teach you? बोलेंगे आप क्या मुझे बताओगे? When you tell them, okay, here we are, we know a little bit about it, we know how to document things. आपका classroom demonstration कैसे होगा? आपका if you observe, then we say कि student learning outcome पे कैसे काम हो सकता है? Then they realize कि अच्छा we are making sense to them. And teachers को भी ये लगता है कि हाँ there is a scope of improvement. Because there is a hierarchy in the education system. ये बोलेगा अच्छा ठीक है थोड़े दिन तक if you have 10 years of experience you become senior leader and then you start become trainer etc ऐसे चलते जाते हैं. So but this is the presence of teachers in schools and you see that children are able to read right. This is the success and we have seen across India and nursery for the basically country. And even if you're thinking of the digital world and other things we are talking about, 80% they're able to use smartphones. So that's a good sign to look at. So this is the experience, and I can go on because we work in we work with media very closely. We get them all about that. And we work with surpunches also. That is, we work with 40 surpunches in each and every district. Not that easy to work with. And they don't know what the rights are. They are elected representatives. They don't know. And SDM, they fear to meet the SDM and there should be other way around. SDM should be coming to them and helping them to do whatever they want to do. So this is, we are trying to do whatever we can.
Support this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I'm going to give the panelists a little more time so that they can truly explain. I think that's the thing. Ripur, we heard a lot about how corporates bring in program management elements in everything and how hard it is, and it cannot be done quarter on quarter. I don't think it can also be done year on year. At the same time, I know you have some really good experiences. I saw the glow on your face when you were talking about the first employee of GiftAbled in that vocational center so much. And you've done a lot of this work over the years that I've known you, right? Would you like to share a little bit about maybe a story of success or even failure that you could have learned from? On where you have, what should a person coming from a corporate organization expect? How many years or how many months or what is the right direction to go? Anything that you can share.
Thank you so much for asking that question, Vishaka. Vishaka and I, we go a long way in terms of how we know each other, and we've done some great work before. So starting off from there, yes, GiftAbled and this district especially is very, very close to us. It's been about a 4-year association, if I'm not mistaken, with GiftAbled and with Balrampur. And the very first project that we did here in this district was a failure. It was a super duper failure. We worked with GiftAbled for 1 year on the project, and we burnt our fingers literally. And we went back and we said, what more can we do? And why did this failure happen? What were the challenges around it? So obviously there was a small study done around why this happened. And that was around mushroom farming, right? And the climate change suit. There were so many other challenges that came our way. And then we were trying to see, as a corporate, so for us it was, are we in the right are we working in the right space? Are we working with the right NGO? So all those questions came into being for us. And it was up to us to go back and justify saying, yes, projects do fail. It's not like a corporate where everything is working fine and there's a project management and there's, course correction that you can do. It doesn't happen like that. You're in the remotest of villages. You have to look at the challenges here, right? So we said, yes, we're going to do one more project here and see what more can be done in, especially the aspirational district, right? So therefore we started our second project, that was Project Swatandra. We all visited the space yesterday. We started with just the first employee from her house. With 4 machines is what we started, 4 employees, 4 machines. And you all have seen the results yesterday. So that is a source of joy for us. Obviously, we went back to our team saying, we started from there to where we are today. And today, I'm super happy that 1 is a successful project, 2, the folks, especially the leaders in our corporate office in Bangalore, they were so welcoming of the fact that we're doing the summit here, and this was one of our first projects. We also have Henny here, who's the global volunteering head. She's come all the way to look at the project here, so it was a huge applause for us. So it's just not the local teams. This word has gone to the global team, and we see a representation here, right? So that's the kind of change that we've seen in our organization, and I'm sure this has made an impact to the local community and the kind of employment that has happened thus far.
Thank you, Vibhu, and I'm sure all of it did not come with your own sense of stress and pressure as a CSR lead. But I think what I'm taking back from you is, tenacity, just the intention and the sense of purpose. And if you believe an aspirational projects probably will need more than the other spaces, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think it was just the faith that I had in these 2 people.
Absolutely.
Pratna and Pratik were 2 people. I mean, I've been working with them for the last 12, 13 years. But the kind of purpose that they have and the drive that they have is something that drew me to coming back here and saying, let's do another project. And I mean, since yesterday, I've been so moved by all the things that have been happening here, the people that we've been meeting, the kind of difference it's made to them is brilliant.
Absolutely. Thank you for being fabulous, both of you. I think there's also a lot of wisdom. And I know that we don't have a lot of time, so I will ask another question to Saugato. With that, all of you, if you have questions, let's take that in and then we'll see how it goes. So we heard about collaboration between government, organizations, choosing critical spaces. We heard about corporates, how we can make this successful, and what a person who leads this goes through. I'm going to ask you to share, can there be innovation in this space? Can we bring in something that the country prides itself on, right? Innovation, technology, the knowledge center that we are. Can some of that come in to improve and get the results we want? So that.
Thank you, Vishaka. That's an excellent question. In fact, let me tell you that I am representing Tata Power here. I'm just recollecting your statement that the corporate goes from QSQT. And it is absolutely right, absolutely. A big organization, corporate organization, looks into the quarterly result, etc. But I am really proud to represent a Tata Group here. Tata Group is for 130 years in this country and across the world. Our philosophy is still from the founder's philosophy, that we have to give back to the society what we are doing the business here. That needs to be again given back to the society. Then, and perhaps many of you are aware that Tata Power's theme in recent years has been that sustainable is attainable. Why we say that thing? There is always the challenge will remain, as you are asking, and in fact, the challenges in development of the social sector is definitely there. But at the same time, this is attainable through a constant effort and a synchronized manner with new technology innovation. What we believe that with the innovation of new technology, we can do something where the sustainability will be there for whatever development we intend to have for our society. So that is the thing where we are also doing right now in the renewable energy microgrid, what GiftAbled is doing in these aspirational districts in UP and in Bihar. Total 7 districts in UP and 3 districts in Bihar. We have set up renewable energy microgrid in the country. What is our objective? Our objective is very simple. We want to provide affordable and reliable electricity to the villages so that the development of the economy, rural economy happens. Perhaps you are also aware that today India is one of the largest economy in the world, but still our per capita consumption of energy is almost 1/3 of the global average. Why it is so? We have provided electricity distribution network to almost all parts of the country, but still there are pockets where electricity is not there. Let me share this some story from my experience. We have set up the renewable energy microgrid first in two unelectrified pockets across Bihar. So there was one village in the river island. In Ganga, there was an island called Balrampur. There was a village where the electricity is not there, even after so many years of independence. But we set up the microgrid there. At the same time, we also set up women literacy center. And I met the person, the woman in the village, who was out of the entire village. There is only one woman who was up to class 8. So she has been given the training from our side, and we have assigned her as a teacher at that institute. And she said one thing which I will not forget in my life. She said that the biggest problem in that village was nobody was going to marry their daughter to this village boys because there is no electricity in that village. So still that is the impact, that is the social impact of providing reliable electricity. So if you can just go to that level. Yesterday I was not here. I was in Mihipurwa block of Agarh district, where actually there are certain villages which are at the Nepal border, and you have to cross the forest, reserve forest, only to reach those villages. Those population there, they are only depending upon the agriculture as their income, but they are very crucial for us because in the border, they are also in terms of the border security, that location and the village is very important. They do not have any electricity distribution network because we cannot set up the transmission and distribution network across the forest. So we have to now set up the renewable energy microgrid for them. And while returning, I could see that there was a leopard also crossing the road. That kind of situation, people are still living in our country where the electricity is not there, and where the electricity, along with that, as you are asking for the technology, our focus has always been how to promote the energy efficiency so the maximum utilization of the electricity can be done by the society. We provide the energy efficient TLDC fan in association with DSL, and also similar initiative we always try to do for setting up the micro enterprise, the rural micro enterprise in the villages with the renewable energy microgrid. In terms of the, in fact, we have started this journey of microgrid in 2020, and thereafter the COVID came in a big way. So during that period, also reverse migration of the population has happened to the villages. Many people who are earlier working in the cities in India or in the Gulf countries, they have come back to the villages. They had no other means of income. And with our microgrid, we have set up around 70 such small micro enterprises who are now running the flour mill, oil spiller. Even in some cases, they are running the ice cream factory that has been created by them with the solar microgrid supply. So that way, actually, many people who are forced to come back to the villages during COVID, now they are very happily staying with their family here. And it's also, I personally feel that those are the things which are an achievement as which goes much beyond the profit of the company. So that is the experience that I can share with you. In fact, there are some video clip also, but I don't think that time will.
I was going to mention that Mr. Saurato did have a presentation and we couldn't accommodate that, but what a beautiful story you shared. Thank you. I know we have a little time. Do any of you have any thoughts, feelings, or questions? I think all are well.
I have. I have a question open for all the panel members here. I have got an experience in a corporate as well as in NGOs both. So I just wanted to know. The pace the government is having, the NGO is having in the corporate, moving for the same goal. So it does not matter. Often we see the government has several policies. With our government personnel here, we know that we have got different policies, but it takes, the process is long, we could not get enough time. Whereas the NGO, what I found, is little bit fast, and the corporate have their own structure. So how to match these three to make the program more sustainable? Yeah, thank you. Sanjay ji, I would like you to answer. The $1 million question.
I know it's a complex one, but anyway, I'd like to tell you that government is moving at tremendous pace. Let me tell you, it's very difficult to match up with government because the expectation of government, because they want to prove that okay, aspiration is still doing well. So it's not that easy to match it. They want data on everyday basis. It's very difficult for our staff and NGOs to match up. They call meetings every month. There is a meeting. Every week there is a meeting with district administration because we know for sure and they expect data from us. Okay, क्या चल रहा है? बताओ हमें ये चाहिए. Because their expectation is very, very high. And for us to match up is not that easy. And corporate, definitely the funding agency will have their set goals, like what we are talking about. They want to know kya hua, kya nahi hua. So it boils down to data. But the pace you're talking about, because I'd like to tell you, government is moving at a tremendous pace. It's not the earlier version that what we are talking about. We can see there is a seat, if there is a young PM or a CDO, they will take in a box, and they go to the field, let me tell you. They're not sitting in office, they go, they do observe, if there's a school jana, to wo jate hain, wellness center, they go, do visit. Let me know they are aware, and I know it's not that easy, but the financial part of it basically, where it boils down to whether we have budget for X, Y, Z development. Like for school, we will have budget for that. You have wellness centers, budget. So where there is a mismatch, that's what I see. The corporate and the NGO and the government has to come together to generate that kind of money. And corruption, of course, we need to, I can't say more about it, and you will know. But what I think is there is a possibility. And if we just align properly, if DMs are very good and CDOs are very good, we will be able to achieve a lot.
I would like to add here because we work very, very closely with the Karnataka government. We went for a seminar about a couple of months back. The Chief Minister himself was available there, presenting, talking about the different initiatives that the Karnataka government was doing. And they had opened up the forum for corporates to start working with the government, right? One such project that we had picked up about 4 years back was with an NGO called Shikshana. It was about creating syllabus for children, young children, to basically develop their skills, apart from just academics, their leadership skills, their communication skills. So there was a curriculum that they put together. It was called Prerna 1.0. We partnered with them along with the government, and we ran it successfully for literally 2 years. And then that syllabus was adopted by the Karnataka government itself in all other districts and their regions, right? So that's something that we work very, very closely with them. And they're welcoming of corporates doing different things for normal schools, right? So that was one classic example where we worked very, very closely with them. The second was also with NASCOM Foundation, again supported by the government, is the rainwater harvesting projects that we work on. The different schools that we support the rainwater harvesting project. So we have had really successful journeys with the government, with the state government at least, and with the NGO partners and with the corporates.
Yeah, actually, I just want to add on what both of you have said. Yes, it is challenging, but at the same time, if you have a common objective and if you have a good program which has a good impact on the society, it is always possible. I just wanted to share one example that in Tata Power, when we are setting up the renewable energy microgrid, we have an objective to also do the women empowerment. In certain cases, what we have done, we have provided free electricity, and initially for the villages, the women free connection actually, only the connection charge was free, but the electricity charges needs to be paid subsequently. So that way, 1,800 women entrepreneurs have joined us. Then subsequently, we thought that it needs to be some collaboration where some more impactful program can be developed. So we have collaborated with Usha Foundation and then CIDBI also associated with us. CIDBI being a government organization, they also understood the objective of that. And it was a huge impactful. I have just one video clip of 2 minutes if you want, I can share with you, or otherwise you can subsequently also, you can check that. That Usha Shaving Foundation, their program has covered with the LGTB also. That the villages, the women, the Usha Shaving Foundation was doing the training for the shaving part. We are providing the reliable electricity so that they can do from the manual sewing machine to the electric sewing machine, which improve the efficiency a lot. And CP was providing some financial support from the government sector. So that way, it was a huge, impactful initiative. So it started at the one center first, and then that has been multiplicated to 8 centers. So today, almost more than 200 women are getting trained. Similarly, when we do the association or collaboration with multiple corporate organizations with the NGO, that also has an impact. Like in what I have been explaining about the unelectrified villages. There, the Tata Capital has also provided their CSR fund. One NGO is engaged with us, who has the responsibility actually to do the formation of the village committee, who will manage the entire thing, and the entire microgrid will be owned by them, the villagers. So that way the NGO's role is very, very critical, that NGO has to make this entire program successful by doing the proper social engagement with the villagers. So these are the few examples that came up in my mind, that when you talk about the collaboration between the government, corporate and the NGO, that can be a huge impactful decision.
What's also interesting to see is how the defense folks are also approaching the corporates. So that's another aspect where
The veterans.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only the veterans. We have requests from 515 Army base, for example, for different Army regiments who are approaching us and saying they need support with servers, laptops, IT support, if we can help them with security things. And so those kind of requests are coming our way. We've worked with at least 2 such regiments in the past, and even now we have one from the Assam regiment saying we need some support. So they are also approaching. So CSR is just not now contained to what we've been doing in the past. It's opening so many other doors and windows, right? So
Thank you so much. That's such a wonderful story. Also to understand that, see, when I know Sanjay, you just quickly touched and went out of the whole corruption conversation, but it is true, right? So a lot of the blockers of checkpoints are also very important because we've suffered. We want to learn from the past. The corporates are very careful because they have audits, and when we, like, for example, in my organization, we have to work with the government to make sure everything is absolutely clean. there's a proper expectation of what is required, etc. So those things do tend to slow things down. But in the longer run, we are hoping that some of these checks and balances actually help the whole process. Any other quick thoughts and feelings? Otherwise, I think we close.
Good morning.
Why don't we have both the question and then we...
Hello. Myself, Dr. Raksha from Siddharth University. My query for all the three panelists. I'm working in Siddharth University. We know that these areas are very aspirational districts, and we all know that why Siddharth is famous for. It is for Kalanama Christ, and the very important, it is the birthplace of the Gautam Buddha. So my question is that we are in government organization and you are from the corporate sector. So to work together, how can we collaborate? Because the motto of this summit is to work further for the development of disabled children and the lower population as well. So my question is, what type of support services, whether in form of the project or any kind of other activity, we can get from you so that we can work for the betterment of the society and especially for the disabled state. And to inform you, we have already started some work. My senior colleague is here. We already started work for the welfare of this district development. So we want support from you so that we can collaborate with you to work further. Thank you.
You want to pass the mic to the other
Thanks. Sorry for the delay.
I am Sogesh from Smart India, School for Students with Consumer Respiratory Confidence for the my director, who is consultant TCN. Sorry.
Okay. So I just want to add one, madam, in that way. Inclusive education has different perspectives at the moment. When almost 2.65 lakhs children only in UP in government primary schools. It's the UNICEF data, 22 SSC data as well. 3.15 lakh. Almost 2 crore children are there, non-challenged and inclusive other children in government primary schools. Almost 1.5% is there. As per the government data, 3% has to be there. Somewhat only limited niche of special schools are there, so almost 6 lakh has to be there as per government data. Tata has a strong legacy and strong in that way. My director, Dr. Balrampur, is TCN and Tata Motors first time he has job is there, and Tata has different support, state support, as there is the best initiatives he has taken right now in different states. So I would like to know whether there is any strategy for these children. They are almost more than 60-70% children are out of the school. Frankly, अगर मैं उस तरह से बोलूँ bluntly तो ये है ये नंबर उन बच्चों के लिए तो रिएक्शन नहीं है. मैं अगर यूपी में स्पेशल एजुकेटर्स की बात करूँ तो वो भी स्टैग्नेशन है. मैं लखनऊ की बात करूँ, we are reaching we are just sorry for the delay है ना 11:30 we have reached here from Lucknow in the morning. लखनऊ 5400 schools हैं, but अभी भी वहाँ करीब 39 या 40 special educators are there. So you can imagine the sphere and requirement and existing status what there is. But of course you have told me, I was not fully listening to your comment, but as I able to relate. Government is different stigma, different perspective, different working scenarios there. How we can put into it with different CSOs, different others who has quality with the quality added value in that way with the help of CSR. Somebody told me only 1.06% CSR expenditure on inclusive education. It's surprising. 1.06% total expenditure. I am correcting to as CSR has grown enormously from 14 to 19, and of course some CSOs have declined in that way. It is another debate. 946 PSUs to 4.
You have to concise your question.
Okay.
That's
Different. After CSR value has increased enormously, and
expenditure is going to be raised.
Coming to the
Yeah.
inclusive
So how you can, how you can strategize all these things with the perspective of these children who have special needs and requirements? Thank you.
Thank you. So we have two questions. One is on, how can individuals and other institutions working in this space
come to get the collaboration. And the other is, what can we do to increase the spend and work around inclusive education?
I think I can take the collaboration